Dear Mr. Winston, from When I Went to the Library, by Ken Roberts. Selection illustrated by Andy Hammond. Essential question: what are some different ways to do research? Dear Mr. Winston, my parents said that I have to write and apologize. Dad says he is going to read this letter before it's sent, and that I'd better make sure my apology sounds truly genuine. So, I am truly, genuinely sorry for bringing that snake into the library yesterday. My parents say that what I did was wrong, even though the cardboard box was shut most of the time, and there was no way that snake could have escaped if you hadn't opened the box and dropped it on the floor. My parents say it's my fault for having brought that snake into the library, and I truly, genuinely apologize, but I still don't know how I was supposed to find out what kind of snake I had inside that box without bringing the snake right into the library so I could look at snake pictures, and then look at the snake and try to find a picture that matched the snake. Analyze the text. Understanding characters. Does Kara seem truly, genuinely sorry? What words and actions of hers indicate her feelings? I told my parents something that I didn't get a chance to remind you about before the ambulance took you away. I did come into the library without the snake first. I left the box outside, hidden under a bush, and tried to borrow a thick green book with lots of snake pictures. You told me that the big green book was a reference book, which meant that it had to stay inside the library, and I couldn't take it out even for 10 minutes. My parents say I still shouldn't have brought that snake into the library, and that I have to be truly, genuinely sorry if I ever hope to watch Galactic Patrol on television again. My parents picked Galactic Patrol because it's my favorite show, although I'm not sure what not watching a television program has to do with bringing a snake into the library. The people at the library say you hate snakes so much that you won't even touch a book with a picture of snakes on the cover, and that is why you won't be back at the library for a few more weeks. If you want, you could watch Galactic Patrol. It's on at 4 p.m. weekdays on Channel 7. There are no snakes on the show because it takes place in space. Did the flowers arrive? Dad picked them out, but I have to pay for them with my allowance for the next 2 months. The flowers are proof that I am truly, genuinely sorry for having brought that snake into the library. I hope the people who work at the library find that snake soon. Did they look under all the chairs? That snake isn't dangerous. It is a local snake, and there are no poisonous snakes in Manitoba. The people at the library say you know that too, because that was one of the reasons you decided to move here. I bought that snake from a friend. I paid 1 month's allowance for it, which means that snake has cost me a total of 3 months' allowance, and I only owned it for 1 hour. Mom says I don't have to tell who sold me that snake, so I won't tell you either, because Dad says he is going to read this letter. Besides, I don't want you to be mad at anyone else when I am the one who brought that snake into the library yesterday. I am truly, genuinely sorry. I want you to know that I didn't plan to show you that snake. I didn't mean to scare you at all. I knew where the big green snake book was kept. I put the box on a table close to the book and tried to find the right picture. I looked at a picture, then at the snake, at another picture, and then the snake. I did that 5 times and can tell you that the snake inside the library is not a python, a rattlesnake, an anaconda, an asp, or a cobra. Anyway, I was surprised when you wanted to see what was inside the box because I didn't ask for any help, and there were plenty of people in the library who did need help. Dad says that the fact that I said nothing instead of a snake is proof that I knew I was doing something wrong when I brought that snake into the library. I am truly, genuinely sorry, even though my friend Jake Lambert promised me that the snake I bought from him is perfectly harmless. Analyze the text. Humor. Who does Kara blame for what happened to Mr. Winston? What words and phrases does the author use to tell us how she feels? I did tell you that I didn't need any help, and I did have a snake book open in front of me, so I don't know why you insisted on looking inside the box if you are so afraid of snakes and everything. I don't know why you picked up that box before opening a flap either. If you had left the box on the table, and maybe even sat down next to it, then maybe the box would have been all right when you screamed and fainted. You wouldn't have fallen so far either if you were sitting down. Did you know that you broke out in a rash after you fainted? I thought a person had to touch something like poison ivy to get a rash. I didn't know it was possible to get a rash by just thinking about something, but my parents say it really can happen. I think maybe you did touch something. Maybe, when you were lying on the floor, that snake slithered over to you and touched you. Did you know that snake skin feels dry, not wet and slimy at all? I just thought of something. Maybe everyone's looking in the library for that snake, but it's not in the library. Maybe it crawled into one of your pockets or up your sleeve and rode with you to the hospital. Wouldn't that be funny? Why don't you get one of the nurses to check? If it's not in your clothes, it might have crawled out and might be hiding inside the hospital someplace. I think people should be looking there, too. Analyze the text. Conclusions and generalizations. Look at the first paragraph. What conclusion can you draw about the letter writer's attitude from her suggestions to Mr. Winston? What details and examples led you to this conclusion? I am sure you will be talking to the people in the library to make sure they find that snake before you go back to work. I hope they do find it, even though my parents say that I can't keep it. If that snake is found, could you ask the people at the library to give me a call? I would be interested in knowing that it is all right. And if they do find that snake, and do decide to give me a call, could you ask them if they could compare that snake with the snake pictures in that big green reference book before they call me? I would still like to know what kind of snake I owned for an hour. I am truly, genuinely sorry. Your friend, Kara.